This is one of my favorite sayings that Jesus ever said. Let the one who seeks continue seeking until they find. When they find, they will be disturbed. When they are disturbed, they will marvel, and will reign over all. And after they have reigned, they will rest. The Gospel of Thomas, saying 2. In the heat-baked village of Sorek, where winds carried both dust and silence, lived a boy named Eli, the son of a potter. His hands were often clay-streaked, but his mind was untouched by limits. While others worked and prayed, as they had for generations, Eli questioned, "Why do we worship a God we do not hear? Why do the righteous suffer while the cruel prosper? Why was I born? And to what end will I die?" The villagers were kind but weary. They offered him the answers they had been given. It is not for us to know. But Eli's heart rejected easy comfort. Something deeper called to him, like a whisper carried on the wind. He would stand for hours at the edge of the village, gazing toward the distant hills, feeling as though truth waited just beyond them. One night, under a sky of silent stars, Eli packed a water skin, a piece of bread, and a single prayer. "If you are there, show me." And he left. Well, years passed, and Eli journeyed from city to desert, from monastery to market, following every path that hinted of wisdom. He studied under scribes who had memorized entire books of law, yet who could not explain why they felt so far from God. He listened to philosophers in candlelit halls debate the nature of truth, but their words rang hollow. He knelt in temples where incense rose in beauty, but left him unchanged. In a forest of cedar trees, a dying monk told him, "You seek God like He is a destination, but He is the road and the dust on your feet." Still, Eli pressed on. His body grew gaunt, his eyes sharpened, and his heart began to ache with a question he couldn't voice. What if there is nothing to find? One bitter morning, cold and hungry, Eli climbed a mountain said to be sacred. At the summit stood only a cave and silence. He entered and collapsed, exhausted. And there, in that cave, with no scripture, no mentor, and no voice from heaven, he broke. "Where are you?" he cried, pounding his fists into the rock. "I've given everything, left everything, for you, and you do not speak." No answer came, just a stillness so pure it stripped him. Then something subtle, a still, wordless presence, not outside him, but within. He felt as if his soul had been cracked open. Light poured in, so fierce it blinded. He saw his pride, his hidden desire to be right, to be chosen, to possess God, and it disturbed him. He wept, not because God had not spoken, but because God had always been speaking. He had simply not known how to listen. The silence had not been absence, it had been invitation. When Eli descended from the mountain, he was not the same. The world shimmered. The beggar's tears were holy water. The leper's touch was a sacrament. The wind in the trees whispered the word. He marveled, for everywhere he had once seen emptiness, now there was fullness. He returned to his village, not as a prophet, but as a servant. People gathered not because he claimed to know, but because he listened. His presence was healing. He asked nothing of others, but gave them everything. His time, his love, his gentle gaze. He had no throne, yet he reigned in hearts. He gave no laws, yet he restored what had been broken. He taught no doctrine, but spoke with such compassion that even the most hardened turned soft. They called him Rabbi Eli, though he laughed at the title. He simply called himself a seeker who learned to see. In his final days, Eli sat beneath a fig tree surrounded by children. He told stories, not of doctrine, but of the day he saw God in the eyes of a dying man, and the time he felt heaven in the sound of a widow's laughter. When they asked him what he had found on his journey, he said, God is not far. He's not waiting for your perfection, only your honesty. He is the ache that drives your search, and the silence that holds you in your breaking. Let the ache lead you. Let it undo you. That is where the kingdom lies. That evening, as the sun melted into gold on the hills, Eli whispered one last prayer. Thank you for disturbing me, so I could finally rest. He smiled and closed his eyes. Now, friends, this story teaches what Jesus lived and revealed. God is not reserved for the holy, but for the honest. He is not hidden in rituals, but revealed in brokenness. To seek Him is to lose everything you think you know and find a love greater than anything you imagined. You see, Jesus didn't just give us truth. He is the truth. And those who walk with Him will marvel, will reign, not in power, but in love. And then, finally, they will rest in the heart of God. So, let the one who seeks keep seeking, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. Because the ones who dare to truly seek will find, and what they find will change the world. God bless you.